You step up to the podium. You can feel your heart racing. Your palms are sweaty and your hands are shaking. You're experiencing what is known as performance anxiety or stage fright. According to Wikipedia, about 75% of the world's population experiences stage fright. Everyone in this room most likely has already had to do a presentation or an interview before, and if you haven't, you will have to do it since you're taking Speech Comm 223. So it's really useful for all of us to understand what performance anxiety is and how you can handle it. So today I'm going to be talking to you about the causes and effects of performance anxiety, and based on those, what are some possible solutions to handle performance anxiety? So one of the number one causes of performance anxiety is lack of experience or practice. So if you're not familiar with the material that you're presenting, or if you're doing an interview and you're not sure about what you might be asked, this can lower your confidence and this will affect your performance. Also, it's about your own self-confidence. So if you're concerned that maybe your voice sounds a little funny, or if you're not feeling comfortable in your own clothes, this might also make you feel anxious, and this will result in fear. Secondly, people often think about how the audience is judging them. For example, I know right now that I have a couple of evaluators in the room that might be looking at my every single move and listening to every detail of what I say, as well as the professor. And this can definitely be frightening for someone who's doing a performance. Thirdly, a presenter often tends to focus on their self rather than the audience. So I might pay attention to little details such as the way I have my hand gestures, or if I sway back and forth. And maybe these details that I'm paying so much attention to are not actually so bad as I think they are, and the audience won't notice it as much as I do. So all these things mentioned as causes are what cause fear. And this fear is what leads into the effects of performance anxiety. So with all this fear, your body gets into what is known as fight or flight mode. So it gets ready for an attack. And so adrenaline begins to rush into your blood, and your muscles begin to contract. Your body wants to try to get into this concave shape with your shoulders shrugged in, and it tries to get into fetal position. So when you try to straighten yourself out, your body may begin to tremble by doing the opposite effect. You also may feel all of your extremities getting cold, your fingertips, your toes, your ears. This is because your blood vessels are beginning to constrict. Also, your blood pressure may become high because your body, once again, getting ready for an attack, needs oxygen and nutrients. And so this is why you feel your heart racing quickly, and you feel sweaty, and you may begin to blush. Finally, if you feel nauseous or a dry mouth, this is because your digestive system shuts down in order to allow you to produce energy quicker. So now knowing all the causes and effects of performance anxiety, the solutions to the issue become much, much easier to do. The first thing to keep in mind is mastery. It's important to practice. Practice allows you to improve your skill as well as your confidence. So you become a better presenter, and you also become more confident in what you're saying. Secondly, your perspective. You need to keep in mind not to overanalyze every little detail of what you do. Try to think of it the way the audience would think of it, and try to focus more on entertaining the audience or getting your message across rather than the little details of how you do it, because the audience won't care about that. Also, try not to think that the audience is in control of you. You are in control of the situation. Whatever you say or do is what's important, and the audience can control how you present or what you do. It's also useful to get your memory involved. Try to think of a good experience of when you've done a presentation or interview before. Even if you think of it as overall a bad experience, there must have been maybe a few seconds within that experience that were enjoyable and good. And also remember that usually the first few seconds or first couple of minutes of a presentation are the worst, and it tends to get much better after that. If you keep these things in mind, they'll help you a lot. Also, as we discussed in class, remember to move, stretch, and breathe. Now we know that it's useful to move because you want to get rid of that extra energy that you have from adrenaline. You stretch because of your tense muscles, and you breathe because your body needs extra oxygen. And always remember to maintain eye contact and have a good posture. No matter how nervous you are, if you do these things, you can fool your audience or interviewer into thinking that you're very confident. So overall, I talked to you today about the causes and effects of performance anxiety and some solutions for how to handle it. I hope you all gained something out of it, and I wish you all the best of luck with your next performance or interview. Thank you.